Welcome back, hi. We are back in the Lingo DLC and we're looking at Swingo. There are a number of things that have been left sitting that we haven't been able to solve. As always, we're going to clean up the ones that I've figured out while I was editing or just doing whatever. This one I think I have. At During editing last time, I realized that this panel here is what you get after you finished with the first step. So no, I'm not looking for something breakfast starting with G. I want something that you have for breakfast that has a synonym that starts with G. So I think this block is cereal. A synonym for cereal is grain, and then there's a few things you could do to phonetically delete that. So it could be gain, it could be gray. There we are. Yay! Which means this is finished. Perked hat. So this is an anagram. The parked is right. Yay, that's one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run in here quickly. This used to be at 5. Woo, hi. 4. That's what that's counting down, is those achievements. So then in here, in the room in the back, there was one more this way. We took a crack at this last time and it turned out to be wrong. So this is do a phonetic deletion of cold, which I said was coal, C-O-L-E, which, I mean, that is a word, but it's an obscure word. How about just code, C-O-D-E? Then we want to do a purple on that, but keep the O and the E. So that could be road, R-O-D-E, and then do a homophone of that. So that'd be road, R-O-A-D. Correct. We are prodding buttock and taking names. So then this, oh, what is that? So that is both literal and phonetic, I think is how that goes. Both literal and phonetic. White panel bottom is a purple of ordered. Does it have a side panel? It doesn't. So in here, that's a literal thing, and it's blue. So it makes me wonder if like a lot of these where it's an achievement panel, that just adds a the. That just adds THE. So the ordinary doesn't work unless it's DIRD. No, I want a 9-letter thing. Like I mean, that's not a word. Okay, that is a terrible clue for that. That's awful. Okay, but that's another one. So now this room is done, other than the gateway into 4 back there, which means this is now down to 3. So now we have stuff in here to fill out, and it's like, how quickly can I find them all? What was left? I don't know where I'm going. Fearful Padawan. Let's take care of this. So, I have a friend who has a YouTube account of Ice Bear, and he is absolutely my go-to person for Star Wars information. He is in the 501st, which is a charitable organization that takes Star Wars cosplay of villain characters. They will show up in an event. You can take a picture with them, and they just ask for a charitable donation to do so. And all the money, literally every dime that they collect, goes to whatever designated charity it is for the day at that event. So that's what he does, and it's awesome. So I asked him, if I start with Fearful Padawan, what do I end up with? So what he said was, canonically, fear leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, and suffering leads to the dark side. So I'd suggest Sith. And I'm like, oh, I should have thought of that. I'm not someone who's watched a lot of Star Wars, which is something I have to like apologize to him for on a daily basis. But yeah, that makes sense. So now, what are we doing? So then this is brown bottom Sith. Then this is a phonetic reversal, which is this. Now, when I presented this last time, this is not marked as to what color panel is on it. And I said, well, it must either be a black or a white. It's either a synonym or an antonym, because it wouldn't be a green, right? But if it is this at this stage, it could be a green, because that is something you can do with a bottom green. You can say, what is this thing? And the answer is that it's a chain. And now once you do that, it's very easy to add a phonetic thing to that chain and say that this is change. Got it. Okay, that's that. Then the next one that I remember is this crazy thing over here. If I can climb up the hill to this thing. So we're going to explain this. This is going to be a little while figuring these things out. Okay, so this was cut liver. So this was cover. Then it goes into this, which is a purple. So I think that is lover. Then bottom brown. Your lover becomes your fiancé, the male version that doesn't have the extra E on the end, because we do take it from French and we respect the fact that the feminine gets an extra E like we do with blonde, or we should do with blonde. Then add a single letter because we know it's 7 blanks, and that's finance. Then we're doing this. So finance, a synonym of that is investment. Investment leads to profit, and then that has a homophone. Profit. There you go. And what you notice about these is once you figure out exactly what's going on, like the cover to lover thing, there was a few things it could be, but most of the things really did not work. And so I'm going to take a little second to talk about trust when it comes to writing puzzles or solving puzzles. But this is more advice for people who write puzzles. And that is, no one really talks about this, but there is an element of trust when it comes to getting to know how a constructor's mind works. So it would be incredibly easy for someone else to write a chain that goes through, I don't even count how many steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. A 7-step chain with that minimalist amount of cluing as to what each step was, and no checking your answer partway through. For a lot of constructors, I would look at that and go, there's no way I'm going to be able to solve this. There's just no point. But what hopefully you've been seeing so far with Brandangelo is that he only will give you a puzzle like that if it is in fact solvable. He's very rigorous about the fact that it has to have an intuitive solution, that each step really can only be one thing, so that after 7 steps, you're not branching out to literally any word in the dictionary, right? So I'm willing to sink time into trying to solve these puzzles and not just say, this is for a project. I just want to know what the answer is to see if there's any funny business going on. I'll get my tool and I'll get the answer. I'm willing to put the time in with this because I know that time is going to be rewarded, and I trust that I'm not going to be disappointed with a moon logic answer. So that is something that I try to foster whenever I write, is that you get to know, if it's going to be a top purple, you can trust that it's going to be a rhyme pretty much all the time. If it's going to be a change, it's going to be a minimal change. Like one of the things that I did in the alphabet mines were the red and blue checkers. And It is impossible in the way that Lingo works to say, you may not do this. You can only say you can do this. The strawberry tutorial and before it, the lingonberry tutorial did try to give you, no, you can't do this, because we're trying to teach things. We're trying to teach how puzzles get written. So I implemented something. But generally speaking, you can't tell someone, this does not work. You can only do something that does work. So there are unwritten rules to those red and blue front and back, red shift and blue shift puzzles. And always when I wrote it, it was that the part you're keeping must be at least half of the word. And you're always keeping as much of the word as you can. And maybe you noticed that those were rules with those puzzles, and maybe you didn't. But hopefully you came to understand that while that was a mechanic that absolutely could be abused, hopefully you came to trust that it was fair dealing when I did it. And I didn't just take a 10-letter word and keep 2 letters and throw away the rest. So for anybody who's out there and wanting to be a puzzle writer, you have to build trust with your solvers, because if you don't, they're going to just bail on you. They're going to say, well, he could do anything. It's not worth putting my time in. So, Brandangelo, I absolutely trust you as a puzzle writer. That all having been covered and said, we now have 2 things in this room still to find and figure out. And I'm trying to remember where they're hiding. The one that I wasn't able to figure out, I still don't know what this is. Although I had an idea. If a mug turns into a donut, it might also turn into a torus, T-O-R-U-S, which is just a 3D shape. And if you change the shape of a 3D shape, I mean, that's not a change, but it could become a sphere. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't like that. I don't like that answer at all. But we're now down to 1, and I didn't think I was going to get that one right. Okay. So that's that. Where is the last thing hiding? So this was the hardest one to figure out. Because anytime I tried looking this word up, anytime it would acknowledge that this was a word in some other language or in the past, it came out as a verb. But the thing it kept coming back to was that it was to say. So my guess was that this was sayings, because that's something you can at least pluralize. That's my best answer for this. Then we want a synonym of that, which is adages. Then, if I can get through, then what we want is to add letters to adages to get advantages. Then you want an antonym of that, which is drawbacks. And then you want to anagram that, and it's backwards. Got it. Cool. Cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. And now, oh no, I put myself in a canyon again. Now we want to go all the way up to the top of the mountain. And there you go. Ye piked. The peaked? Yay! Okay. So we're clearing out all those. So that's all the backlog done. We're now completely up to date with all the puzzles we've seen are now solved. So the next thing to do is to go back into the mine. This way. We did this bit looking at what these in-between colors of panels do. But now there's the what on earth does gold do? So let's see what that is. So this is blueprint. And that is going to be a brown. A blueprint becomes a building. Yeah. Okay. But then we have this. Is it just the same? Ooh. Eh. Oh. Building, not blueprint. Okay. So I think what the gold is I'm not telling you whether this is a red or a white or a blue. It's an unknown height for this puzzle. Great. Can't tell you how excited. So let's go over here. Tops. So that is a black. So semantic black, spot. Yeah. Okay. Then we have harbor. This is a black middle. So it is a white of harbor. So it can't be a homophone. It can't be the same word. It has to be a bottom. It's port. Okay, outwit is a bottom white. That makes it a purple. So it can't be a bottom because it doesn't make any sense. Letter is nitwit. Got it. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a green because that's not a word. Essay. Okay. So now, okay. So the bottom red is brown and middle black is a white. So coffer. Okay, this is doable. This is doable. All of this is doable. If I keep telling myself that. Okay, top red, that's magenta. So sound of pig is oink. Oh no, we got middle. Okay. So let's do this. Pleased is a top black. It is a red of pleased. So that can't be bottom. That doesn't make any sense. Pleased. Is it just lease? No. Pleased. Is it just please? No. I will take a letter in that. Oh no, I won't. Oh yes, I will. Pleased. Is it plead? Oh, just type the P. There we go. Plead. Okay. Top white. It's a blue of arc, so probably literal of that. And then, yeah, it's what Perchin becomes. I will absolutely take a letter in that because I ain't be having with his Old English nonsense. Perchin. That looks like it's another verb. Is it parch? Yay! Okay. There's one back there. I'm going to leave it alone for the time being. There's 5 more. There's this. Okay. Top red is a magenta of monkey. And middle white, it's a black of murmurer. Oh, it's a howler monkey. Okay. Oh, there's another one. Clues. Bottom black. This is a yellow of clues. So if you arrange clues, you get a puzzle? No. You get an S. Oh, if you phonetically arrange clues, you get school. There you go. Where are... did I miss something? Why don't I fit through things? Well, let's do the thing in the back. Oh, that's why. Okay, fine. So then this, what is this? So it's a half height, black or purple, obedience, letter. D. Oh, but it's a... no, it's not a checker because... Oh, maybe it is a checker. Debonair? No, because I was thinking like something about reversing the DEBO part, but that doesn't really work. I'm gonna pass on that one. Curative. So this is a top or a middle black, red, white. Okay, so cure. Right. So it is a red literal. Take some of the letters of this and it's a white semantic. Okay, so right, it's both of the things. Right, that's how that works. So then for obedience, black and purple. So one of those is bottom and one of those is... no, that doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So they're possibly on two different levels, but it is both a black of the thing and it is a purple of the thing, is I think how that works. So... deviance? No. So if it's a purple and we don't have the same first letter, we must be keeping the and doing all of our changing at the beginning. So it's got to be an NCE word that means the reverse of obedience, because it can't be phonetic or literally the reverse, so it has to be an antonym. Obedience is not... yeah, I can't think what that is. So let's go to this. Defiance rather than deviance. Hey, okay, got it. And there's one more hiding somewhere in here. Oh, it's right up there. Okay. Graphite pencil. I mean, that's the only word that I associate with graphite. Why? It's a top white, so it's blue. So yeah, fine. Graphite is part of a pencil. Then this, oh my God. Okay, so top red is magenta of age. Bottom white is purple of the gigantic. And middle black is white of the plated. It shouldn't be just the plated. Wait. It's a white of the... maybe it's a synonym of the plated. Oh, I want the bells to stop. I hate this. So, it's a magenta of age. It's an example of an age. The stone, the bronze, the something age. It's a synonym of the plated. And it's a change on the gigantic. Well, that would just be the. You don't need anything other than the. It's not the bronze. No. The golden age. We're keeping the G? That's terrible. The plated. The gilded would be plated. Okay. The Gilded Age, the GI from Gigantic. And if something is gilded, then it has gilt, it has plating on it. Okay. So now, we know how all those bits work. So now, let's go around here. Because there is an entrance to Area 4 here. So now, what on earth are we doing? We're doing... it's gold, so we don't... or it's gold-plated, I guess. It's gilded. So we can't see what level these are. But, okay. So, is this just noon? No. What letter? D. Okay. I need so much help. Okay. But this should be like the last area. So now, so this is either green or brown of noon, the red aspect of the pink. And then it is either black or purple of noon at some height. I do not know what that is. Okay. This is attention, and I think that's just a white. So it's purple. Letter there is M. Like, I want to make it mention. Is that white? I think it is. I may not be able to get in this door. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I can't think what that is. I want to go and look in the other area because there is also a door into 4 in here. Okay. So this is bright red top. So it's magenta of detergent, but I can't have a letter. And that. So it's top white mansion. Mansion. That's what that word is. So it's an example of a detergent? Dusk? Dawn. Dawn is a detergent. Dawn Mansion. Okay. So now, just for completeness sake, Dawn Mansion. And we now have blue panels. So now that's both ways through. But now, I mean, 0? What do you mean 0? Oh, of course, naturally. Okay. Can we... Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I came back here. What is this? Okay. Farmers count. Except, hold on a second. Is that a blue? Yeah, it's a blue. So, oh, wait a minute. Right. We don't have to guess what this is. It should have told us. Yeah, it's not going to tell us. It's not going to tell us what the 3 things are. All right. Couldn't just be simple, could it? Never. Okay. So now, yeah, this is probably not the place to start. So let's just try going in here and seeing what's in the front room. Okay, so there's like stuff. This is cute. This is position a husband. Do I want to know? I don't want to know. Okay. So let's see. So this I should be able to just do. So this is a literal puzzle that is purple. Seizure. Azure? Okay, so it's not blue, it's azure. Fine. So now, wait, what? Okay, so that red panel is a magenta of blue. Oh, maybe these are all going to wind up being just examples of blue. Could be. Okay. So this is an example of blue. And then it is a black or purple of ogre. Or it's a checkered black. Okay. So, yeah, maybe this is checkered. Indigo? Yeah. So turn both ogre and mini backwards, and they can both be purpled into indigo. Mini becomes IN, IM, keep the IN and change the N to get indigo. Ogre, change it backwards, it becomes ergo, keep the GO, change the rest, it becomes indigo. All right. So then, what? Okay. Let's look at this. Steel. So that is a red teal. So these are all shades of blue, which makes sense because, I mean, these are all... This is the thing here, is we're learning blue panels. Okay. So now this has a blue. Can we do it? So that is a black of laughing. A black bottom of laughing. So that would be crying. letter B. Do something phonetic to crying. Baby. That is the sound for a baby. So then top blue should be lime, which makes all the sense, because any other chance that they've had, that Brandangelo has had, to make the opposites go, that's what's happened. So for black and white, red and blue are opposite each other, and white and black are opposite each other. Yellow and purple aren't opposites exactly. Although there is kind of a thing. Yellow is keep everything the same, just change the order. Keep everything the same, change the order. And purple is keep the order, change the letters. So they're kind of opposites. Kind of, if you stretch. So it is not a surprise that magenta and lime are opposite each other. That might mean that there's an opposite brown-black, as what bottom blue panels refer to. I don't have one in this room, and I'd rather try working on this room first. But it could be. So that means that this one should be within reach. So what are we doing? We are doing nay, and we are doing a white to it. And then it's what makes that noise? Horse. Then we're doing something semantic, and black and brown or purple and green. I'd rather do black and brown checker. Yeah, this is why it might not be black-brown, because we have a way of manufacturing black-brown. Anyway. So horse. Black-brown would be like foal? Colt? It could be either of those. For a 4-letter word. And then we need to do a literal blue to it. Cobalt. Cobalt. There we go. Is a kind of blue. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier about trust. Like, if I see a theme, I know that that theme is going to be carried through. Okay, so this is literal. It is a blue of them in. The heck you say. And then it goes into a middle blue, but we don't know what middle blue does. But we have another way to get in here. We can sort of back solve it. Is it denim? Yes, which is, I mean, it's not a common name for a shade of blue, but as someone who has had to research names of colors with weird letters like D and K, yes, it does count. So, okay. So, the last thing that we did to get denim was we did a yellow of it. Ooh. Before that, we did a literal red of it? Uh-oh. This comes out with... Oh, maybe it is just the mind. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But we have it to come back to try to figure it out later. So let's see. How are we doing for time? 40 minutes in, but a lot of running around. I'm going to try one more room. We're going to try this room, and we're going to see. So, okay, this will help us with the top of what blue is. Oh, no, we didn't need help with the top of what blue is. Dang it. This is a lime. So it's a category that botanist belongs to. It's scientist. Yes, it is. And then that's what? Phonetic purple? Yeah. Okay. We're keeping the psi of Cyclops, and it becomes scientist. Okay, I'm inclined to try other things. No, I'm not. Okay, lobby. So, sort of red, sort of white of lobby. Or both red and white of lobby. And then Perform a purple on it. Oh gosh. L. Is it that everything in here is a career? Is it lawyer? Okay. So then the last thing that we did was a blue of something, a blue of a 5-letter word, which might be an insertion, sticking a W into layer. But then, I mean, a lobby is an example of a floor in a building, so it's kind of a layer. But that's really weak. Yeah, I don't understand this puzzle. So I hope I understand some of the other ones. Okay, okay. So these are tops, so we're kind of okay. So this is a lime of ash at some height. Then whatever we get from there, we are supposed to do a semantic yellow to it. So we rearrange it. So ash. Ooh. Ooh. And then when we're done with that, we do a blue to it, a literal blue. To get a 7-letter word starting with P. Like plumber. Oh, I gotta stop back solving these. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So ash is an example of a tree. Cut and rearrange a tree to get lumber, stick a letter on it. Plumber. Okay. So Hilbert is an example of something, or a name of something. Hilbert. Ooh. I think there's a mathematician named Hilbert, but I don't know what Hilbert is an example of. 5 letters ending in E. Then whatever that word is, we're supposed to do some kind of a white to it. So that could either be a homophone or a synonym. And then we are supposed to do a phonetic magenta to it. No, not a phonetic magenta, phonetic blue to it. Oi. This is a 6-letter word starting with I, which is a career or a job. That I don't know. I don't even have a guess for what that could be. Nothing is coming to mind for what job you can have that starts with an I. And, okay, we got more. I mean, this is the kitchen. We're just, yeah, we can go around in a circle. Okay. So, smart play. So we're doing 2 things. Okay. Oh, okay, so we can have a mix. We can have this gray here that is black on this side and white on that side. And thank you, Rendangelo, for explaining what the hell you're doing. So we are going to wind up doing a red, like more than smart, right? For 6 letters? And then we are going to do a black from play, so it'd be like work, which makes sense for this room. And then we do what now? We do a red. Oh my. Smart play becomes genius work, bright work. This becomes a C. Is it clerk? Clever work? Clever work becomes clerk. Position a husband. So now we know how these double wides work, but now we're being given explicit glass to help us figure out which bits we're doing. Although we're doing it at a different, I don't understand that. Why wouldn't you just do one gigantic glass block? I don't know. But one of these is blued and one of them is redded, which is kind of a problem because we don't know what they do anywhere other than at the top. We haven't figured out what blue in the middle or the bottom is. Great. So position a husband. So this could be brown. That could be green, and the other one is whatever the blue panel is contributing. And then when we're done doing all that, what does a brown become? What does a husband become? Or position? Yeah, I don't like that. I think this is the one that is contributing the red. Oi. Letter M. Oi. Is there like a mortician, a mathemat... Yay! Why? Okay. Don't give me too much. I will figure this out without knowing what I'm doing. Why? So whatever I get out of the position a husband block goes into being a purple. Okay. So... yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing. I solved too many of these just by being too clever by half. That did not help me figure out anything about blue. So there's just this. So I'm going to, I mean, just to close it out so that we have nothing left in the queue. Yeah, there are mathematical things. There's such a thing as a Hilbert space, a Hilbert system, a Hilbert curve, a Hilbert matrix. So out of those options, that looks like it's curve. Okay, so if that is curve, then we are going to do a white of that. Okay, occupation. Clear the ends with, starts with I, letters 6. Iceman? I mean, that was a job in the past. I didn't think so. Intern? Oops, intern. Well, it's not exactly a job, but it's something you can do for a living for a while. Oh, it is curve after all. It's turn. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. So, we figured out one thing. I'm going to look outside quickly and see if there's anything anywhere that helps me figure out. Oh. Good grief! Okay, we're doing that next time. I don't want to do that now. Not 45 minutes into a recording. That's just a nightmare. And then this horrible thing. Yeah, no. No. How about no? So, run away! Okay, and back out here and into the main room. 195. 195. So we only have 40 puzzles left. Okay, so next time is almost certainly going to be the end of Lingo. Because if I can't, I mean, with 40 left, even if I go a little long, I'm just going to knock the rest of this out as best I can. So that is the end of this episode. This look at Swingo within Lingo. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it when everybody does that. I appreciate you all, regardless of whether you do it or not. I'm so glad that you decided to spend some of your time with me. We will be cycling through the rest of the games, and then when we are done with Swingo, the next game in the sequence is looking like it's going to be Wires, which is one that I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. So I'm really excited about getting into that. Please leave a comment to let me know what you think of what I am doing. Please push the buttons that let me be seen by other people. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you all very soon. Again, thank you for watching, and goodbye.